Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We got here a 2001 Z06 Corvette. It has about 30,000 miles on it. Haven't seen a lot of videos of Magnaflow exhaust system installed on them. And I picked up a used catback system. It is a Magnaflow catback for 2000 to 04 Corvette. JAG's part number is 642-1763. Came across this on Facebook Marketplace. Been looking for a system off and on. Just didn't want to dump a lot of money into the car. I ended up finding this thing on Marketplace for $175. I looked it up and I saw it's actually like $730 if you ordered it new. So I thought it was a pretty good deal. It was worth a shot. Try something used. Also, it didn't look this pretty when I purchased it. Took about an hour worth of elbow grease and cleaned it all up to make it look nice. And the guy sent me all the parts. He actually included a couple homemade baffles because it was a little bit too loud for his car. That's what he was saying, but we're definitely not going to install those because that's what we're looking for, is loud. So I'm going to do a little bit of before and after and a little bit of video and photo why I'm installing the exhaust system on the car, and I'm hoping that I'm able to help some people out there. All right, thank you. Here we go. We're going to do a little bit of before and after. Again, this is a bone stock 01 Z06, and we're going to fire it up and see how it sounds at idle. Give it a few revs, and then we'll see what it sounds like when it's all finished and complete. All right, here we go. All right, we're back on the Z06 project here, installing the Magnaflow system on this 2001 C5. I got the exhaust laying on the floor, car up in the air. Looking at everything underneath here, when I'm under here, everything looks pretty clean, nice shape. Gonna look where I need to cut the pipes. Look like I gotta cut them right behind the catalytic converters. I'm gonna get a measurement here from the front of the X pipe to the flange, and we're about 53 inches. The only problem that I look like I might have as I start this project is it came with 2 band clamps, stainless steel band clamps, to slip on behind the cats. And where it mounts, this oxygen sensor bung looks pretty close to where the clamp needs to go, and it definitely looks like it doesn't have that much surface for the band clamp. So as I grab one, you'll see what I'm talking about. It would only go on so far. Yeah, I gotta open it up, but you'll see what I'm talking about. It only has that little bit of a lip. It's about a 1/2 inch. It's really not much. To the other side, I have about 1.5 inches, which is plenty. So we might have to put some tack weld on and then drop the whole pipe and weld the whole system onto it, which is no big deal. I'll keep you informed, and more video to come. Thanks. Okay, people, took some measurements off the X pipe and went up here and found out where I needed to cut it. Yeah, on the left side of the car, the passenger side, it landed, the very end of the X pipe is landing right here. So it does give you some, it looks like it gives you a little bit of clamping room. But then on the right side, on the passenger side, it's landing right on this mark, my measurements, where it doesn't look like I have much, and that's a side that I don't really have much to clamp on here anyways. So, but what we're gonna do to start off, we're gonna nip these pipes here and here to get rid of these little kink bends that they have, and we'll get that out. So we're dealing with a perfectly straight section of pipe coming out the back of the cats. I'd rather have them a little long than too short, so we could just kind of, you know, if we got to take some material off, we can, and it's no big deal, because we definitely don't want to have to add some. And the other big thing is too, it's probably easier to do right now before you get these pipes loose, is remove both of the sensors out of the system and get them out of the way before you start cutting. I'm gonna go ahead and try my Sawzall with a short blade, so we try not to hit the floor, try to cut it as straight as possible, and we'll see how it goes. All right. Okay, everybody, we got the exhaust cut right behind catalytic converters. So I cut down a Sawzall blade so I didn't hit the bottom of my floor at all when I was cutting through. But no turning back now. Get that cut off, and I'm gonna remove these 2 bolts and the flange bolt and drop this pipe out of here, and hopefully the rear mufflers come out pretty easy, and we'll go from there. Okay, we got the stock H pipe out. Not too bad with a Sawzall. Just got to clean it up a little bit before we try to slide the new pipe on. But we got that out. They're still dangling the back mufflers. We'll take those out next, but I want to show you side by side of the original H pipe and the X pipe, flange to flange. You can see the mounting brackets. I mean, pretty damn close. This is the big difference between the stock H pipe and the X pipe is where the sensors mount. They're kind of back here, and the new ones are all the way up front. And you can see how much longer, you know, these pipes are a little bit. Like I said, the big problem is going to be that I see, I don't think it's going to be a real problem, but the issue is this sensor right here. We have plenty of room for this pipe to slide in and clamp, but this one, this sensor being so close to the end, you can't slide the pipe all the way in because you're going to block that port. So what I think I'm going to do after I get it up there, we'll see, is that I'll come back to the car. I'll slide it up and I'll see where that hole is on here, and I might just notch it out. So when I slide it on, the sensor can screw down into the pipe. And then we'll see what it looks like with the clamp, but I'm really thinking that I'm going to have to weld this system up, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, everybody, I'm here getting ready to weld up this exhaust system to the catalytic converters. Problem is my welder will not make it over here. The cord's not long enough, so I can't tack it in place. So I did the next best thing is, you know, take a black marker, mark the outer ring, and then put a couple of lines so you could see where it was originally lined up. So when you go weld on the welding bench, it's you know, you got it back in the same spot where you had it, so everything will be squared up. The other thing we had to do to get the tailpipes out, had to drop this rear sway bar. Made life a lot easier. It was no big deal. Just remove the 4 bolts on the back and then the one off the link, and just drop it off to the side, and the tailpipes just fall in and out of there right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish unbolting this and get it welded. The other thing I had to do is, you know, it was a little spring loaded on the end, so I just took some door shims and wedged them apart until I got it separated just right to slide onto the pipes. You know, I'm doing this all by myself, no help. So, you know, you got to do what you got to do to make things work. So I'm gonna get this thing out of here and get it welded up. Okay, pulled the exhaust out from the exhaust manifold back to the tailpipes. Got everything on the ground, everything tacked where I had it underneath the car. So I'm gonna begin to weld it, get everything all welded up real nice and tight, so we don't have to worry about the clamps. Today I'm using a Miller 252 MIG welder. I'm welding about 14 gauge, so that's what I'm doing. Just normal steel wire. I'll shoot it with a little bit of paint to keep it from rusting. You could use standard wire to weld stainless. It's no problem. I mean, you get stainless wire if you want. But yeah, that's what we're about to do here, and get this thing buttoned up. Okay, everybody, got the exhaust system all welded up, starting to bolt it up onto the car. Again, like I said, I'm doing this all by myself, so once I welded that pipe on there, it got pretty heavy, so I found an old piece of wood to wedge in between the lift to, I guess, set that exhaust on there, so I was able to get it up there by myself. But yeah, we got the weld all done. Shot a little heat paint on there, so just got the bolts just started off the original exhaust manifolds. So I'm gonna lift up the back now and get these rear two bolts up and get the back of the exhaust up, and then like I said, we'll just start working all the bolts together and just gradually bring it up to where it needs to be, and make sure the exhaust flanges are bolted up nice and tight and square, so we don't have any exhaust leaks. But that's the next step. Okay, we just finished up bolting up the front exhaust. The only little issue I had, it's pretty tight getting these oxygen sensors in, but I got them in. The right side of the car, passenger side, you were able to run the wire in the exact same spot and there was no problem, it reached. But on the driver's side, left side, I had to reroute it a little bit. Just had to cut the corner and come up at the end and use the existing clip. Just pushed it on over the heat shield here. So it had enough length to reach the sensor on the other side of the pipe. So it's kind of what, I don't know, what some issues running into, which is not a big issue. And now we're gonna start working on the tail pipes here. And the other thing, they come with these hangers. I already got this one in the hole. It's an existing hole, as you can see here in the underneath of the car. For just starters, I just dropped that pin, the center of it, 1 inch off the bottom little hump of the car here. And we'll just see how that works out. But yeah, just another little oblong piece, threaded piece. You just slip in the hole and then you start the thread, and then when you tighten it down, it just locks down. This holds up against, and when the washer and nut tights up against it. So yeah, so far so good with no instructions. Pretty easy so far, but we're just going to continue on putting on the rear pipes, and hopefully they go smooth. And again, drop the sway bar. It only takes 5 minutes to do. It's very simple. So and it's makes your life so much easier trying to get them pipes up inside there. All right. Okay, we got everything buttoned up on the new exhaust system. Just had to play around with these adjustments to get the pipes leveled out. Just a little bit of a pain, a little time consuming. And then other thing, we're gonna run it. I'm gonna run it like this, check for any exhaust leaks. Hopefully we don't have any. And then we'll do a final run. Let everybody hear what it sounds like after everything was installed. But I just want to point out one more thing I wish I would have done. I wish I would have just cut that and brought that pipe all the way up to the back of the catalytic converter. The right side of the car, passenger side, is just a little bit tight on the back when it goes over the rear axle assembly. I'll show you back here. If I would have just cut out another, looks like 1/4 of an inch, just a little tighter than what I like, but everything's fixed. It shouldn't go anywhere. So compared to the other side, the driver's side is got plenty of clearance. It's pretty nice, but this one is just a little bit tight than what I like. But hopefully we don't get any vibration or rubbing or any noises when we take it out. But like I said, I would definitely would have cut it right and brought it right back to the back of that catalytic converter. I don't know how the other guy had it on with clamps. Clearly this setup with the stock using the cats. There's no way to put a clamp on there and get a tight fit. So he must have had maybe a catalytic converter eliminator pipe on there, most likely. So yeah, we'll get this thing tested and you can hear the final results. Okay, I think we're ready to go. I checked underneath, there's no exhaust leaks. Wiped all my fingerprints off before I started it. They wouldn't burn onto the pipe. Yeah, let's get to it. Let's check out this after stage, you know. Let's see if it's everything we hope for.